Hello, I'm Nelson Liu, and thanks for joining us for Western Perspective. Adaptation has been the best friend of artists worldwide as they struggle with the impacts of COVID-19, with their work dependent on the arts-loving public. Emmanuel is no stranger to adapting, with falling work and income, taking stock of not only his work, but the coronavirus environment around him. In part 2 of our series Art of Change, ARIA award-winning singer-songwriter Kavisha Mazzella spoke with Jay about how he adapted as COVID-19 took hold.
We're very excited in WA that you're coming back and you're currently writing a piece called Children of the Sea, and for Performing Lines is going to produce it. And we just want to know if you could paint a picture for us what it was like before the COVID. We want to tell our listeners about the situation artists are in.
Thank you, Kavisha, for having me on WAMN News. Super excited to be on here. Before COVID, there were multiple projects in full swing. There were long-term projects in full swing, like Children of the Sea, which has been a project that has been going for the last 4 years. There were some projects that were coming to fruition this year and were ready to be going in 2021. And there were some projects that were going to be starting out, birthing this year. There was a little bit of certainty. I wouldn't say that there was a lot of certainty around everything, because I guess arts generally is full of a lot of uncertainty. But there was more than what we have now. And also the certainty around, I guess, financials around a project, and how the year was going to play out, and how, I guess, the work, the schedule, or the I guess,
the calendar.
Yes, what you were going to wake up and do every day,
Yes, so you basically, the world was known, things were known, what you were going to do in up to 6 months, a year, or in advance?
A year and a half.
Oh, wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. For an artist, that's amazing. So what happened when the COVID news came and...
When COVID came, I lost about 70% of my work, my income for 2020, and some of my projects for 2021 as well. Most of all, COVID has taken a very emotional toll, of course, a financial toll, but, there's been a lot of uncertainty around it, and how, as an artist, we can continue to survive right now. It has had effects on my personal life, such as housing. Where am I going to live? How am I going to pay the rent? How am I going to pay for food? As well as professional, about where am I as an artist, and what do I do, and how do I respond to the situation? Yes. There has been very little lobbying or support for the arts, I would say, from the federal government. And also not a lot of transparency around what kind of support is available. So it's sort of like we've been left in the dark. We don't know where to go, where to ask for help.
It's an interesting thing, isn't it, that a lot of people in the quarantine period actually relied on artists' work to maintain their sanity. They were reading, they were looking at online galleries, looking at online performances, and a lot of artists were working for nothing but offering. So given the role that artists have in making sense of life's experience, in sharing our stories, and you are a great storyteller, and you're very much dedicated to that, why do you think there's that disconnect? Why do you think they didn't consider?
I think it is about sort of understanding the value of arts. It's also that I don't know that if arts is valued as much as it should be. I think arts plays such an important role. Just statistically speaking, I think arts brings about $111 billion to the Australian economy. 6.4% of the GDP. It employs about 500,000 people in Australia, and everybody pays taxes. So, and also, kind of like the tourism industry is affected by it, such as 40% of tourism is actually related to the arts. And all of this, and when you think about kind of like how much funding is arts getting, it's only $6.4 million a year, which is, I mean, like, not much.
Now, going to you personally, you've obviously had to do a lot of soul searching and thinking, how am I going to adapt? So can you share with us, what have you, paint a picture of how you...
Adapting has been about, firstly, pausing everything has been very important, taking a moment to sort of think about where we are right now. Also taking in the world we are living in right now, which is there's so much shift happening, a cultural shift as well. So personally, I have paused. I've put everything on hold, which has been very healing in a way. And I've been reflecting on sort of shifting my practice, turning the gears a little bit. I'm a director. I love being with people, and I love devising with people in the same room, but I've had to go into a more solitary practice, which has been writing. So I've been writing a lot of new works, because that's the only way that I can be ready for when we get out of this COVID.
What can we expect from J. Emmanuel when you come back to Perth?
Hopefully I can come back to Perth very soon. I'm hoping, fingers crossed. I'm in Sydney at the moment, isolating. Here I am working as a resident artist for Belvoir Street, working on New Stories Group.
Congratulations, it's a fantastic gig to get.
Thank you. And I'm writing 2 new plays, which are going to be, one of them is going to be coming out in 2021, hopefully, and the other one will be out in 2022.
What kind of support would you like to see from the state government of WA towards the arts? If you had your wish, what was your wish?
That we would like more artists, more communication between artists and the government, that there should be transparency, that there should be consultation between the arts industry, especially the independent arts industry, artists who do not have organizations backing them up, artists like myself who don't have any sort of framework and are very vulnerable during this time. And so I guess the first step would be this conversation with them and representation on boards, on committees, on consultation groups.
And that's all for this week. Thanks for watching. We'll be back again next time, but for now, it's back to you, Ivan and Sarah.
Thank you, Nelson. And that's our weekly news and current affairs. We have the latest news on our website and social media pages.
No matter what you're watching, thanks for being with us and have a pleasant evening.
Take care.